Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's Michelle and my special guest, Christy. So we're back. Yay.
We
And
are. We're
I love
back.
your top. Love
Thank
your
you.
top.
It's a dress. It has pockets, which I love. I got it to wear for Easter, but I couldn't help it. I wanted to wear it sooner. So here we are.
So cute. Here we are. And when I saw that she was wearing that, I said, "Okay, well, let me put on my top, but that has the little blue flowers. So we'll
Right?
be matchy twins.
Awesome.
So, of course, if you're here, you're probably a Louis Vuitton lover. We have been speculating that a certain collection might be back. It's already an internet rumor. As we know, internet rumors become huge. But I will let
Mhm.
Christy take the reins.
So I saw something on the internet and I sent it to Michelle. And I may or may not know, there may or may not be a Steven Sprouse collection launching this year, which, if you guys know, you know. I think I keep on saying they've done Kusama, they've done Murakami. I'm like, it wouldn't be out of the, it wouldn't be out of the imagination for them to do Steven Sprouse. That's the only other iconic collection that they have not,
Yeah,
launched.
it
So
would
here we
make
are.
sense because it was a huge collection, like huge as in the hype around it. And it's the only one they haven't done yet. They've done Murakami twice now. So I think Christy and I, being like lovers of that era, we are super excited if we see
Very.
Stephen Sprouse, which has not been confirmed, but I'll let Christy tell you what she knows. By the way,
Uh,
you guys didn't hear this from her, okay?
I did not hear this. Well, I don't know. Like, I know that no one wants to tell me. I speculate because I've been trying to sniff around and my sniffing hasn't done me that great. But what I can say is I believe, allegedly, there's going to be a Steven Sprouse collab, which I've already seen on the internet, but I would not be surprised. And if you have a client advisor and you want the new collection, I have no idea what's going to freaking look like. I have no idea. I will say though, and Michelle's probably on my side, that the OG collections are always way better than the new collections because Marc Jacobs' relationship with these designers was so good that Nicolas Ghesquière could never.
So, bit of information that our viewers need to know. So, we're talking about the graffiti collection is the most prominent from Stephen
Hmm.
Sprouse, but he also did roses.
Hmm.
Was there one more?
I think it was just roses and graffiti.
Okay. So let me pull those up. But also, Stephen Sprouse has passed, so he's no longer alive, which I would guess, like, not only is this the last one that they would revamp, but they probably have to work with his estate in order to get permission to
Right, and it
use
would be
the tag.
pretty hard unless they have some kind of, like, yeah, you said the estate, some way somehow to revamp because Murakami is still alive,
Mhm.
Kusama is still alive, but the most iconic collection from Stephen Sprouse is the graffiti. I mean, they had the roses, which I think was pretty, and they did it in vernis, and then they did it in, monogram with the roses and the graffiti. They did a 2003 collab and I want to say an '09 or 10 collab with Stephen Sprouse. Yeah.
Here, let me show the viewers. In case anybody doesn't know, in case we have any new Vuitton lovers out there, here I just did a Google. This is the
Oh,
bag.
yeah.
It came in the key ball, the Neverfull, um, every bag, even the Alma that had a different
Mhm.
pattern of the graffiti. And this, so Marc Jacobs and Stephen Sprouse were, like, they were friends, right? Because you even see this collection in Mark's current collection. Like, that's not,
Honestly, I think Marc Jacobs did a Stephen Sprouse, like Marc Jacobs did a Stephen Sprouse collab with his own collection
yeah,
not that long ago.
yes, very
Yeah.
recently, 2 years
Mhm.
ago, maybe. And here is the roses. So these are some of the things you'll see floating around on the fashion files. And yes, the price is getting higher and higher, as with anything Vuitton, it's getting higher and higher.
Mhm.
But it was artsy. So like Marc Jacobs was the designer that brought all types of street artists to Louis Vuitton and basically revamped. He also brought ready to wear to Vuitton. And anything else? Wait, I had my notes. So he brought on like streetwear designers such as
Mhm.
Murakami, Stephen Sprouse. Do you know what other collaborations he did?
It was like, what was it?
Oh,
He
Richard
did
Prince.
Richard Prince, yeah, with the watercolor.
The watercolors. So he brought the first ready-to-wear line to Vuitton. They did not have
Mhm,
any clothes before. And it made it like wearable with today's fashions, and that was in 1998. So it made it more of a modern fashion house rather than like traditional old luggage type of brand.
mhm. Yeah.
And that's why
Mm,
Christy and I love, I mean, I think we love Marc Jacobs anyway. We
mhm.
like the bags we see from that era that, yeah, we talk about all the time because we love it.
I love Mark. I love Mark. If he ever saw our channel, I just hope he knows that he
Yes.
has two big fans of
Yes.
his not only what he did with Louis Vuitton, but his own collection in the early 2000s. I mean, it was just everything. It was everything and more.
So do you have anything from the Stephen Sprouse collection?
No, and I like literally want to cry. I only have and, I don't even have anything from the Murakami collection, which that makes me an awful person, I feel like.
No, it
I
doesn't
wish
make
I
you
had
awful.
I would love to have the white Speedy 30 from Jessica Simpson era. She went to my high school, and that's not the only reason I'd want it, or like a Bichette Accessoire in white, because I just feel like the white, even though it gets dirty easy, there's something about the white that's just girly and feminine. But I wanted the Stephen Sprouse Speedy as well.
Gotcha.
Finger feet and rose. I would love to get my hands on it. If I could ever, I would like wear it like it like literally just came out because I just love the vintage OG pieces. They're made better, they look better.
Mhm.
Anything Marc Jacobs touched turned into gold. So I would probably like go and get the OG stuff because I like the vintage.
Yes. Yes. And don't feel bad. You're not a horrible person if you don't have a bag.
I
Like,
feel like it. I
for
feel like
example, I
like I
mean,
need it.
I remember um after I worked for Vuitton, I was looking for those Stephen Sprouse, anything graffiti, and they were reasonably priced back then compared to now. And I was still like, it's still a big chunk of money, so I didn't do it. And then, but I also like don't regret it. And there's other bags I'd love to have, like a Fendi baguette. Um, but you can still admire it and not like, you know, I
Have it.
have other priorities, but we can still admire it. It's like, oh, we love the Mona Lisa or a Van Gogh, but it belongs at the Louvre. We can
And
we
not on a
why not have
Louis
it?
Vuitton. Remember when they did that? The what was it? Jeff Koons did a
Oh, yes.
collab and all those murals on Louis Vuitton.
Yes, so there's other ways. Should I
Remember those Vernis heart charms that you can put on your bag?
Mhm.
They actually had, I think the Steven Sprouse ones
Yeah.
did. I wish I would have got one of those. You could carry nothing in them, but they would
Mhm.
have been cute.
Mhm. They'll probably recreate it for like $1,500.
Oh wow, I'm putting on my name on the list.
So, interesting fact about Vuitton. So, okay, well, about their creative directors. Now, we feel, and I feel Vuitton was like put on the map by Marc Jacobs. He really did, an iconic moment,
One
and like
million
our
percent.
era of fashion to like late 90s, 2000s, I think was the era of fashion
Oh
for
yeah,
everything, clothes, handbags, like street style. Everything. And it
for
does
sure.
seem with everyone talking about, "Oh, luxury is dead, people are bored." There is no iconic moment like I think in the past few years, there's been no iconic moment as in something new. As you know, or as we've always talked about, it's like they take a Neverfull and put a different print and it's a different colorway, different color combination, and there
For sure.
hasn't been anything new or innovative. Like maybe a few styles here and there, but nothing like what we saw in the 90s and 2000s.
Nothing touches what Mark did. There is absolutely like when I started Vuitton, everything that I knew and I loved from the brand came from the Marc Jacobs era. And like all the new stuff that came out, I was like, this is cute, but there was something that Marc
Yeah.
Jacobs had within him, with his creative brain, with his he had a connection with the artists and the designers, and There will never be, even though they can relaunch, there will
Mhm.
never be anything like Marc had with Louis Vuitton. He should just come back. He should just be like, "You know what? My line is cute, but let me just go veer to" I mean, Nikolai, go back to Balenciaga.
Oh, but Marc Jacobs, he now belongs to the Kering Group, doesn't
Stop.
he?
I knew he had left
Yeah.
LVMH.
They sold his brand or something, so he's not in LVMH anymore. Yep, so
Well,
yeah.
what a sad day. We should all take a moment of silence.
I think all designers need to move on though, because if you are under a conglomerate, that's your boss. Or if you're a designer, you need to have that creative freedom to do what you want with your brand and not to please the shareholders. And that's how I think brands grow. And that's why I think we've not seen anything exciting. I mean, think about like Gucci hasn't come out with anything groundbreaking. Every brand is relying on their vaults, like even Chanel. How many classic flaps can you do in every different color? So when you are like under a conglomerate, you have these restrictions. Or if you're in a company that's owned by, you're basically
Mhm.
having to please your shareholders. Whereas 20 years ago, all these designers had this creative freedom to just run with it. Even the
I
bags like,
yeah.
the Balenciaga City Bag, which was actually, did you know that was designed by Nicolas Ghesquière?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder I love that so much. And the Chloe Paddington, all these bags that are coming back now, like
Ugh,
those were bags back in like when we were in our 20s. So it is
I
exciting to
know.
see.
I remember Dennis Rodman when I worked at Barney's bothering me about the Balenciaga City and asking me how much it was.
Mhm.
2006 or 7 when I worked there, it was 11.90, and he said,
Wow.
"This is so expensive." I
Mhm.
remember it like it was yesterday. He's like, "Why is that so expensive?" "Here, Dennis, the last black motorcycle medium in the company. If you want it, buy it." I remember it was, though. We had
Yeah.
it here in
So
Little Dallas.
11.90 was
Yeah,
expensive for Dennis Rodman.
in 2000.
Yeah.
Listen, he was dating one of the girls who worked in the shoe department, and he bought it for her.
So he did buy it.
He did, for some girl named Stacy who worked in shoes. I had a ton of Balenciagas before Balenciaga was, like, the thing. Like, I think the Olsen twins were carrying it back in the day, and everyone and Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton and
Mhm.
the Kardashians, blah, blah. But I had bought a Balenciaga City actually, I bought the giant work in anthracite, and I remember I was like, "Oh my god," and nobody really had carried Balenciaga. But during the pandemic, I bought a medium giant pink city bag, and I paid $250 for it on Rebag.
Wow. You still have it?
I do,
Okay, okay.
I
So
do.
before
It's
anyone
goat
poo-poos
skin,
on it,
it's beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a bag I'd like to have, but also there's many iterations of the city bag that have been born of that style. Before
I mean,
anyone poo-poos on us about talking about Balenciaga, we know about their advertising scandal, blah, blah. This is Balenciaga from 20 years ago. We're talking about the fashion that came
we're
from
talking about pre-scandal. My bag was pre-scandal, okay?
pre-scandal.
Nothing bad is coming of a pink bag that I enjoy. And did I go do anything for it during the scandal? I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait for it to calm down and I'm gonna wear it again. Guess what? I did just that. I was like, everyone calm down so I can bring out my Balenciaga bag again. No one said anything to
Also,
me.
Balenciaga, first of all, Balenciaga was actually a haute couture dress designer. He would be rolling
Yeah.
in his grave if he saw what happened to his name today.
Right.
Nothing
People
I
like
do can
Grace
tell me.
Kelly and Audrey Hepburn were rocking it.
Oh my goodness, like beautiful ball gown type of haute couture dresses.
Very, very chic, not like a bag that looks like a popcorn bucket or something. They
Yeah,
would
or a
be like
Band-Aid as a dress.
exactly, exactly. Like thinking that is cute. The only person I feel like who could pull off crazy stuff is Moschino. Okay? That's my personal belief.
Yeah, because that's kind of
Jeremy
your
Scott
DNA.
Jeremy Scott and Moschino could pull off some wild stuff. Like just saying, This is bazooka gum, but it's also a purse. No, we're not having that.
It's also, like, a little Betsy Johnson and a little
I love
Kate
Betsy
Spade,
Johnson. She does
kinda
cartwheels.
whimsical.
She's an icon. She can do it.
Yeah. So, but I do approach Balenciaga stores and, like, it's all gray and boring looking, and I look at what's in there and kinda laugh like,
No,
"Okay, people are bored."
they are bored.
So another interesting parallel, because Marc Jacobs did, like, revamp the whole Louis Vuitton brand, and, he worked with Pharrell in 2004 to create the millionaire sunglasses that were, like, so hot for a long time.
There's think they're still hot.
They're still hot. They were still hot when I was working there. I think they had
Is
gone
it
dormant and they had, like, revamped it, like, around 2016, right?
they were still I wanna say now when I worked there, they were almost 900 bucks, but I will
Yeah.
say they are very stiff and very narrow, so if you have a wide face, do not get them because even though they are rectangular, they fit weird. You're welcome.
I remember when I was there was a revamp of it. So there was a Millionaire and the Millionaire 2.0. I don't know if that was it was called, but there was another one. They came out and I had actually witnessed a couple getting in a fight over it because the guy saw it and he was like, I want them. I'm gonna get it. And the girl was like, no, no, we need the money for our boy's birthday party. And it was like, I'm sure you've seen many fights in the men's department. I have. It was like, all right, you guys need to take that to couples counseling.
I've never seen any fights over the men's department. The only thing I've seen is just actually, no. I've seen more women getting upset. They're like, "My husband doesn't like this, I have to return it." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you, girl."
Interesting. Well, you're in Texas and I'm in California. I saw more fights in the men's department because it was always that the woman wanted a say and basically wasn't letting her man be the man and letting her man choose what he wanted. It would be over the man bags, the man clutches. What were those called? We called them the man clutch or pouch.
The
The clutchy.
Avenue?
we we called them the clutchy. No,
The
it was the
Gaston?
it was like the pochette. It was
But
like the
the
toiletries,
Gaston
but it was for men. No, it was actually before that. It was the same shape as the toiletry 26 maybe.
Oh, I know, it was called it was like no, it wasn't Gaston, it was
I don't remember. I had some kind of
no,
trouble.
but it looked like a toiletry, but it was a
Yes,
men's
yes. So there are certain women who wanted their men to wear that as a clutch, and there were certain women who wanted to say in, I remember this couple, younger couple was, like, looking at wallets, and the guy was finally I could see him getting frustrated, and then he just exploded, and he was like, "God, just let me pick," or like, "Let me pick," or "Let me have a say."
wow,
Anyways, it was very entertaining. Yeah, there were, like, yeah, fights in the men's
wow.
department that I wouldn't I mean, and then women's, I think, women would come back and say, "Oh, I didn't like this," but it was never, like, really 2 people fighting in the men's department. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Good times.
Yeah,
So anyway, sorry, I was talking about those sunglasses. I just remember that out of that when I think of those sunglasses, because this guy was just like, "I want them," and his woman was screaming,
that's insanity.
calm down. We are in a luxury environment. Anyway, so Marc Jacobs collaborated with Pharrell back in the day on those sunglasses. And it was just a couple years ago that Pharrell became the creative director of Vuitton. And coincidentally or not, like now he's revamping all of those Marc Jacobs collaborations from that era, which, we know it works. It plays on nostalgia. It gives people an opportunity to have the bags if they didn't buy it before. And then it also, here's your like debut to the new consumer that's quite frankly buying Coach up right now. Like Coach is having their moment, just like when
Yeah,
we were in our 20s and, like, getting our first Coach bag, that moment is happening for those girls
everyone.
age in that generation.
Girl, I owned a budget Coach because I used to work for Coach. Then I worked for Coach at Nordstrom. Then I was a Coach specialist at Dillard's. And I had my fun in the sun with the early 2000s Coach. That was the time to be alive.
Mhm.
There was.
So how do you feel about this collection now? Like, I know we're excited about it. I'm like, almost like, "Oh my gosh."
The new Coach?
No,
or the new
Murakami.
Louis.
Then we can talk about Coach because
The Steven Sprouse, I don't even know what it's gonna look like. I don't even I'm more curious and excited to see what they're going to do with Stephen Sprouse because I know that Nicolas Ghesquière's vision of what Murakami looked like was different than Marc Jacobs. I'm curious to see Nicolas Ghesquière's spin on Stephen Sprouse because I have no idea what it's going to look like. So I just wish I had it. I mean, they'll probably do it in a speedy 20. They'll probably do a never full. They'll probably do a carry-all, like all the bags that are big now. So every collection that launches, every bag that's like really popular, they'll do it. They'll probably do a Felici, maybe a
Capucines.
Capucine. Yeah. So whatever Nikolai's vision is for this, I'm just curious. I just would really like to know what he's going to do with the Stephen Sprouse
I feel like it's going to be like they're just gonna take the exact same print, exact same colors, and
and just flap it,
just recreate the old collection because
control
that's what
C.
we've been seeing, right? Like, and
Yeah.
then, of course, the Speedy 20 and then the Capucines and the bags that they didn't have before. Because
Hmm.
honestly, that would be the
Carry all.
easiest and probably the best way to recreate. As I'm like sitting here saying, I'm not buying any more bags. I'm also looking at it like, I would actually really love to have an Everfull.
I'm going to say what we always say. I would go to Fashion Vile. I would go to the resale market and I
Yep.
would immediately see what the resale world has to offer because whatever that they did back in the day, the quality is going to be so much
Yes.
superior. It's going to be better and it's going to be, I don't know, it might be less, it might be more, who knows. But in whatever case, I just think it's going to be, I just am very curious as to see the new spin on the collection. So that's
Yes.
all.
Oh, here's the Alma that you were talking about. So here, let me pop it up.
The
Here it is,
Vernis
the Vernis. So
with
this
the
is an
rose.
Alma PM, right? Yeah, Alma. Oh, GM actually.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I have as a GM. How
That's
much
a
are they
huge
selling
one
it for?
with the roses.
12.80. I mean, that's a lot for a GM Alma and Vernis, but it's Steven Sprouse. That's the only reason they can slap that price point on it.
Yes, and it's very rare.
It's pink, and I love pink, so I'm not mad at it. But yeah, I mean, soon if they launch the collection, then this bag will probably double in price. So if you like Steven Sprouse and you like this bag, I would jump on that price because once it really gets out that Steven Sprouse and Louis are collabing, that bag will be double for sure.
Here's another one. This one's 2,000. Oh, it's sold out.
It's gorgeous.
I'm sure it would be more. So his art was like the graffiti. Just so
Yeah.
people know
Yeah.
how it's supposed to look. Because I don't think it's for everyone, but just as
Hmm.
like, Vuitton's not for everyone either. But we are very curious to see how this will be played. I can also see like they're gonna make a take this rose and just make like a bag charm, out of the canvas that they do and slap an 800 price tag on it.
Probably. Well, if we find out about the drop and we see it trickling in, then we can come back and give our opinion on the new collection. As of now, we have no idea what it's going to look like. We just see like the speculation of it coming up sometime this year. Probably closer to, I would say, holiday if they're gonna do it, or they might be most of the big launches when I was at Vuitton, the biggest launches were in January.
Mhm. Oh,
So it could
January?
be a January 1, 2027 launch. It could be or just the beginning of January. Because, like I said, the Murakami drop and the Kusama drop were both in January. So who knows if it's gonna be this year or 2027. I'm gonna keep looking and scouring the internet and seeing what I know.
You know what? A friend of mine bought one of my viewers sold a friend of mine a Stephen Sprouse Pusha accessoire. He
Oh,
had the receipt. He had bought it for less than $300.
Jesus. That was like a time to be alive when you could get Louis Vuitton bags under $1,000. That was like I remember my Louis Vuitton Speedy I got in 2009, 2008 or 9 was like 600 and something dollars.
By the
It
way,
was a
here's
diamond
his
resort.
scarf. I forgot. He
Oh,
also has
yeah.
the leopard print. We
Oh,
forgot about
yes.
that. So this is the leopard from This
and the
was from
graffiti
the, employee store.
VAP, or did you have an actual store?
No, VAP.
Ah,
It was a different name for us, EOS or something like that. So, yeah, I saw this, and here's the Louis Vuitton in graffiti, it would look like that. But, yeah, I forgot
that's
he had a
so
whole
cool.
collection of animal print. This is a huge thingy, though, and to tell you the truth, I'm like, I don't wear it that much because
I think you should. I think you should go to the grocery store and wrap it around your head and just be fabulous.
the problem with these scarves is they're long, they're huge, and they're snaggy.
I do know about the
Yes.
snagginess of those
They're
scarves.
snaggy. I just found wait, there was a huge, long where did it go? Literally like a huge, long kitty ball of thread that was like, "Okay, this is snagging."
Maybe you could just put it in a picture frame and hang it somewhere.
I don't where am I gonna hang that? It's huge. Okay, here it is.
Girl, I
Here's
don't
this
know.
big ol'
Oh, wow.
yeah, I remember wearing it a few times, and most of the, Vuitton stuff that I have now is literally just hanging in my closet.
Hey,
Okay,
look,
see
girl, see?
look
I'm
how,
mad at
like,
it.
huge it is as a scarf. It's huge, and
Yeah,
it's
look
way
at
too
you.
it's like 80 degrees today, so I'm probably not gonna be
It's 80 degrees here too.
not gonna be wearing this much, and, like, this is a lot of scarf, Texas. And now that I'm
Come to
looking at
Dallas.
I've gotta keep this because, like, all that Y2K stuff, it's gonna go nicely with my Juicy Couture purse, so
Also, maybe you should just get lace camis and a shrug and some gaucho pants.
yeah,
Layer them, pop your collar, girl, and nobody gonna be mad at you.
and I'll wear it with my Uggs, my daughter's
It's
Uggs.
tucked in. Why not?
Yeah. So, I honestly don't know what to do with this, but, yeah, I almost thought about selling it, and just this
Don't get
morning
rid of her.
I will
She's
not.
too cute.
Yeah, because just this morning last month, I did a whole sweep, and just this morning in yoga, I was like, "I gave away 2 white T-shirts that I really should have kept. So what am I gonna do now? Go back to Bloomingdale's and buy them? No, okay." So, sometimes I just get in this, like, "Let's just get rid of everything" moment.
Wow. Don't get rid of
So
it.
random. Anyways, I'm trying to think if there were any questions in the comments that we should address or
All I know is somebody said, "Are they bringing back the Odeon, or what do you think of the Odeon?"
okay, I don't like that bag. What do you think?
I liked the OG Odeon because it had a longer strap.
Mhm.
The new Odeon that had the tag and the shorter strap, it was not giving, but the older Odeon with the longer strap and the front pocket and no luggage tag, she can stay around. But yeah, that's how I feel. But
I
also, I
personally
think that crossbody bags might be dying. So,
I personally did not like any I didn't like the Odeon because it was a flat crossbody.
mhm.
I don't think Louis Vuitton did that well, because there were other bags. Oh, I forgot the name of it. There was a Damier Ebene that was, like, similar shape. It had a little tassel on it.
Oh, I know what you're not the corset.
No, it was flat, and the last time I bought or wore a flat crossbody, Coach was the only brand
See,
that I would do it in.
oh my God, why can't I think of it?
Sure, let me look it up. It was a very popular bag, and I just thought it was, like, hideous. Someone's gonna get mad at me for saying so.
There are a lot of things I thought were hideous that everyone
Yes,
bought.
there were a
And
lot of
like my face is loud, so but you're gonna get that? Good for
it
you.
was the South Bank
Oh,
Versace.
the South
South
Bank.
Bank.
That was the Northwest one that had the pleat?
Here, I'm gonna share my screen. It's this.
Yes. Oh my god.
Atrocious to me.
It is
It was quite
atrocious.
popular because it was a crossbody. Yep.
I also did not like the South Bank, but so many people did. Oh my god, with that red
So
trend.
because it
She
was
looks like an Odeon, but Damier.
it's too big to be a crossbody.
Because it's north-south, and north-south crossbodies are weird to me.
Yeah, it's weird. But a lot of people wanted this to travel, but if you travel with this, it's like it's not it's I don't know.
It's weird.
Get it because it's flat against your body. I think I even said that. "Oh, yes, it's flat against your body. You can travel. It's not all bulky." And I remember the era of this flat crossbody was, like, 2005 to 8 because I was doing a lot of travel. So I had, like, smaller Coach canvas flat bags in, like, this type of style,
I
flat
had a
against your body.
Prada nylon that was flat like this. It was
Yeah.
actually a men's one because it was bigger.
So, um, anyways, how did I get to that? Oh, you were talking about the Odeon. So the
Mhm,
Odeon's a similar shape to this, right?
mhm.
Yeah, so sorry to burst anyone's bubble. I'm sure somebody's so mad at us right now for saying that. But yeah, we don't work there. Oh, and we had a whole show about we don't like the Capucines. And you know why we don't like the Capucines? We tried to sell that bag. It was the hardest bag to sell at the
No
price
one
point
wanted
it
it.
was. And when you work there, you look at it and because even I would go, well, if I were to buy a big bag like this, maybe I'd buy a Givenchy Antigona instead of this. Or maybe there's something else I would want. People take it
Also,
so personal.
they threw it down our throat to buy like, to sell it. They made us sell that bag because we got more commission on it. The only reason they did it because that bag wasn't selling well,
Hmm. It did not
and
sell well at all.
they made us sell that bag. So if you're at your job, wherever it is you work, and they make you do something and you might hold a grudge because you're made to do something that you don't wanna do, that's like the same thing. There is nothing special about the Capucine. Is it a pretty bag? Yes. Is it ladylike? Yes. Also, it was so hard to sell because everyone was like, this bag is too dressy. This bag is too dressy. I can't wear it with my athleisure wear. It's just too bulky and the price point is more. I'd rather get three or four things for the price of this. And I get it. I get it. I get it. That's why I have disdain for the bag because every time I sold one, sometimes people would bring it back and then
Oh
we
gosh.
had goals for less extraordinaires, which were high end. So that's why I'm mad at the bag because it brings me PTSD, not because I had bad taste, because I have trauma from being told I had to sell that bag. Does
Yes.
that clear it up for everyone?
It was
I
so
hope
much
it
work,
does. I hope it does.
right? It was so much work to sell that bag just for it to come back.
Mhm.
You know, I hope you are not going out in the wild telling people you have a bad bag. You wouldn't even like if you saw someone holding it, you wouldn't go, "Oh my god,
I
PTSD."
wouldn't
You
think
would
I
probably
would
just
just
go,
be
"Oh,
like,
nice bag."
I hope that because when I did another thing is, if you buy a Capucine brand new, it'll be like 8 or $9,000. If you go buy it pre-loved, it'll be like 2,000.
Mhm.
So if you really want a Capucine, save yourself about 6 or 7 grand and buy it pre-loved
Yes.
because they don't hold their value. The Capucines, the Epi, and the Fernie do not hold their value. So if you want one, go buy one pre-loved because you're gonna get a better deal.
And they don't hold their shape, unfortunately.
Mm-mm, they don't. They also look like like a kangaroo got a hold of it and beat the shit out of it. So
Doesn't
yeah,
mean you can't like the Capucines. But yeah, we don't work there anymore, so anyone with complaints about client advisors at Vuitton, write into us and tell us, but I'm not gonna pass on the message, sorry.
I haven't worked there in a year. Michelle, how long has it been since you worked at Louis Vuitton? Like 10
Years.
years.
Like 7 years at least? Yeah,
Okay, so we no longer work for the brand. So if you want to get mad at us, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even work in a handbag store anymore.
I don't. I passed by Vuitton yesterday, and I waved hi to someone I work with who's still there, so that's
Right. I
a connection.
still sometimes talk to my coworkers from Louis Vuitton that like I love, but I mean, I haven't worked at Louis for a long time. So nobody can complain to us if you are mad. I
We
don't know.
can, go outside, take a walk, touch grass, don't be mad. And I don't think I told you, Christy, I'm creating a platform called the Handbag Exchange. And this was actually a comment
Wow.
from a viewer that I wish we had a platform to trade bags. So maybe there's a bag you're not using, or maybe someone has a Stephen Sprouse that you'd like to trade Christy for something in
Yeah.
her collection, like her city
Well,
bag.
like a bag swap.
Yes, a bag swap. So I'm
Sounds
creating
good.
that platform. It's the handbag.exchange. And I am looking for handbag testers right now or platform
What?
testers to post any bag that you want to sell. Basically, I would be the concierge. I'm working with my consignment shop that I partner with. All transactions would come to my concierge desk. We would authenticate and take care of the shipping so everything stays private. And that way, it's different from Facebook Marketplace. Like that other person is not going to send you a sack of flour or send you a bag that was different from the picture that you think you are buying from. So
Sounds
this is
awesome.
in the works. Just want to let my viewers know the link is going to be in the description. We're in testing phase right now. So I hope you guys join. Let's get Christy her Steven Sprouse. Me too. I want
Yeah.
to.
Somebody So for Murakami, I'm here for it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining. We hope you enjoyed us. And thanks for always tuning in for our casual girl time chats. It's
Or
fun,
rant or whatnot.
right?
All right, guys. Take care. Till next time.
Thanks, Christy.
You're
I gotta
welcome.
go. So I will see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.